Okinawa, strategic link in the Ryukyu chain, an island strong point in the southern defense system guarding the Japanese mainland. On L Day, April 1st, 1945, it is the assigned mission of the amphibious forces of the 10th Army. Backed by heavy fire from the naval support ships, assault troops of the 24th Army Corps and the 3rd Marine Amphibious Corps head for the beach. Tanks embarking in the assault waves make headway under their own power. In addition to overall waterproofing, special auxiliary flotation gear gives the tanks the necessary buoyancy. This increases the facility with which armored units can be brought ashore. The pontoons are secured so that they may be jettisoned immediately after the vehicles have attained the beach. Landings made on adjacent beaches hit the east central shore of Okinawa and are relatively unopposed. The 24th Army Corps, consisting of 3 divisions in assault, has pushed south and east toward the main city and airfield of Naha. Here the 1st and 6th Marine Divisions, comprising the assault force of the 3rd Amphibious Corps, drive inland to the east and northward. They are committed to severing the island and securing the whole northern section. Encountering little more than light and sporadic rearguard opposition, the assault makes such rapid progress inshore that by 11 o'clock on L Day, the L+3 objective line has already been reached. Featured by broken contours, the terrain of Okinawa, an island of volcanic origin, is rolling to mountainous, and a great portion of its 485 square miles is under cultivation. Cover and concealment are good, but the topography presents the enemy with good observation for delaying action. Soon after landing, the assault forces and their civil affairs sections are presented with the task of collecting, screening, and detaining a large disorganized civilian population. The Okinawans, an ethnically vague race of Japanese nationals, are by no means antagonistic, but as they number close to 300,000, the security and health of our forces make them a definite military problem in the operation. The progress inland is impeded by the tactical destruction of bridges by the retreating Japanese. However, where the conditions permit, forward motion is not delayed by reconstruction. Fording is accomplished without much difficulty. Roads and trails impeded by mine craters and roadblocks are quickly repaired by the advancing units. Okinawa is laced with a good tactical network of roads, which facilitate the movement of foot troops, as well as armored and vehicular units. Recurrent opposition is encountered, particularly in the hilly regions, from snipers and small isolated units and placed in well-concealed caves and underground installations. These are reduced individually by explosives and small arms fire. This particular sniper's nest has already accounted for 7 Marine casualties during one day alone. In the hill country, a small patrol seeks contact with the enemy in advance of the main body. This dummy tank was successful long enough to draw our fire. Captured airfields are found to be supplied with dummy and obsolete planes which served as decoy targets. One type of suicide plane is discovered intact. Jet-propelled and human-controlled, this craft is actually a piloted bomb. Comparatively early in the operation, airfields north of the invasion beach area are captured and put into quick repair. These fields, as soon as they are operational, make it possible to augment with Okinawa-based aircraft, carrier-based planes, and those from other islands in support of the ground action. Aside from the tactical considerations is the strategic value of these runways in future operations. Located as they are, only 350 miles from Japan proper, 750 from Tokyo. By now, it is apparent that the enemy's main numerical strength had been withdrawn to the southern part of the island prior to our landing. But this is no certainty, and those Japanese still in the north are formidably emplaced and tactically adept. As the advance continues, self-propelled 105mm artillery is brought up in support of the infantry assault troops. The fire of an LVTA is brought upon an enemy-held settlement. Almost completely undamaged, a flotilla of so-called suicide boats is discovered. 17 feet overall, 2.5 feet deep, and with a 5.5-foot beam. They are armed at the bow with 300-pound drums of picric acid. Stowed in the side of a hill overlooking an isolated cove, they were to be launched down these runways. Waterborne, they would be powered on their mission by 6-cylinder motors. Unique to most previous Marine Corps operations, Okinawa, with its heavy population, supported a large number of village communities. This necessitates much street fighting and house-to-house cleanouts. Flame is used to advantage in flushing stubborn opposition from villages and prevents their reoccupation in the rear of our advance. The enemy has, up to this phase of the operation, shown no indication to surrender himself or his position, except with the most tenacious opposition, and with an effectiveness way out of proportion to his numbers. Although the progress is steady, each resistance point has to be overcome with a concentration of effort. With the enemy in command of much of the tactical high ground, the advance is carried by the infantry without heavy support weapons. supply troops in isolated positions, food, water, and ammunition are delivered by parachute airdrops. This is especially valuable here in hill country where advance units have outstripped their communications and have progressed into terrain difficult to negotiate for Amtrak's or other cross-country cargo carriers. Here, too, they would be exposed to enfilade fire from the heights, and the airdrop is the quickest, most expedient means of supply. Japanese aircraft come in constantly from carriers and other islands in the Ryukyus. The enemy still sticks stubbornly to his positions, determined to make the cleanup as costly as possible for the advancing Marines. Caves and other hillside emplacements receive direct fire from our tanks. Under the cover of a hastily built-up firing line, a wounded Marine is evacuated to safety. With concealment provided by a heavy smoke barrage, Marines prepare to advance across an open slope. Periodic heavy rainfall on Okinawa has mired the roads and trails, making transport difficult. Advance, support, and supply are slowed by the mud, particularly in the lowlands, but the consolidation of the northern half of the island continues. Tank and infantry units cooperate effectively in the slow, steady reduction of enemy strong points. mop-up team, using phosphorus, flame, and small arms fire, reduces a camouflaged Japanese position. Japanese artillery is constant, heavy, and accurate throughout the entire operation. Here, a Marine tank is hit and put out of action. As a rescue tank stands by under direct fire to pick up the crewmen, both vehicles are screened by smoke grenades. Retiring safely, the rescue tank evades fire that also forces the tank salvage vehicle to withdraw. While the enemy has used his small strength in the north to good advantage, his main effort against the Marines has been in the nature of a delaying action. And the 1st and 6th Marine Divisions are committed to careful mopping up action behind their own steamroller drive. A drive which, after a little more than 3 weeks of hard fighting, successfully secures more than 2/3 of Okinawa. To the south, the Army is run up against a stone wall outside of Naha. Some elements of the 24th Corps are relieved for a rest and replaced by Marine Corps units. The 1st and 6th Marine Divisions, having completed their mission in the northern effort, are brought in opposite Naha and Shuri, another Japanese strong point. With the bulk of the enemy forces compressed into the lower third of the island, Army and Marine units will concentrate on breaking the defense line into pockets. Japanese resistance is stubborn and cohesive. The Shuri and Naha sectors both make heavy demands on individual skill and concerted firepower. The enemy's defense is resilient, and many positions such as Sugarloaf Hill must be taken and retaken several times before they can finally be secured. mobile 105mm gun gives direct support to assault infantry troops in frontal attacks. Crossing an exposed area, an infantry unit is covered by chemical smoke grenades. The battle for Naha develops into a siege. With zones of fire plotted to encompass the entire area, artillery batteries stand off to subject the fortress city to intensive heavy bombardment. A barrage that persists day and night. Bombing and strafing aircraft assist in the preparation. Outside the city, assault units make ready to jump off to the attack. So about L+50, with the opening of its most difficult and decisive phase, the battle for Okinawa continues into the streets of Naha. A contest for what may well be the doorstep to Tokyo.